and welcome to this episode of Empowered Entrepreneur. My guest today is Augie Johnston. How are you doing, Augie?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. It's
Of
nice to meet you.
course.
Yeah.
So you're a YouTuber.
Was kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm gotta admit right now, just off bat, that I'm not on that content grind like I was before. But yeah, I was a basketball training YouTuber and I started that a long time ago and I don't do it anymore, but I still create content, so, but yeah, for other things. Yeah.
So what's your focus now? Like, how did you progress? What was that journey like?
Yeah, it was a long journey because I did the whole upload one video every week for 4 or 5 years. I don't know the exact number. And, not only did I release one video a week, this is basketball training YouTube content. I also, created products and stuff and courses. And, some of my courses would have 50 videos in them. And I guess you can call them courses now, but really they were basketball training programs, 12-week shooting programs, stuff like that. But yeah, so those had like tons of videos. So I was just, I created this online video business for basketball players and it was offline as well. But yeah, we're here to talk about more online business.
Yeah. So what is important about this day and age of video content?
Well, it's important to number one, the most important part is just being consistent, and we can talk about it. And I mentioned it before the podcast started. Is like it's not easy; it's a hard grind, and I already mentioned it earlier today. So it's hard to stay consistent, So that's one thing. But the other most important thing is to just, and goes across, almost all platforms. All platforms are a little different, but it's watch time. Your videos, whether short, long, they need to keep people watching and create user engagement, comments, likes, shares, follows.
So how would one start?
Okay, how would one start? Okay, so you want to start creating YouTube content for your business and maybe short form content. If you want to go all in on this, like a full strategy, then I would say, and this is just being a little bit more realistic too, go weekly, one long form YouTube video a week. And that's a great place to start once you kind of get that easy, and that takes you less time because your studio is completely set up. You're not messing with camera settings. You're not doing all that every single time, and you're just streamlined. Then you can maybe go to 8, but that's a lot of content. 4 really good ones is where you want to start. And this is a long process, but it would start with coming up with a topic. Okay. It's an overlooked thing. The topic is what makes it interesting because it's the whole premise of the video is. So, left-handed dribbling, is a video topic, but so is, Steph Curry's secret move that he used with his left hand. That's a way. And then I start talking about that and showing that that's way more interesting to a viewer than just me talking to the camera. But anyways, yeah, so start it with a hook, and then you got to get into your content, and then normally there's a call to action at the end. That's kind of the simplified version, but yeah, there it is.
Very cool. And so the strategy, like I really like how you dug deeper into giving an example of the left-handed dribble. Can we unpack what a hook is?
Yeah. So a hook is basically going to, like when somebody clicks onto a YouTube video, they want to kind of be confirmed that they made it to the right video and this is what they're going to get. So you have to kind of reassure them right off the bat, in this video, this is what's going to happen. And you're going to maybe show B-roll or just like, a cut to something happening later in the video that's going to keep someone engaged. And then, just a quick one-liner. If, there's a lot of different ways to create a hook, but if it's just like a talking head camera, then it's almost like copywriting and marketing, right? It's like you need to script it so that it creates an open loop, right? Like you're trying to create an open loop that tells people that, hey, you're going to get the answer to this later in the video. And if you can do that, that's going to automatically put you ahead of 90% of the videos out there. But yeah, there's a whole framework that I have for hooks. It's pretty long, but that'll get you there. The emotions that you're looking to invoke on YouTube a lot of times is curiosity. If you could invoke curiosity in your thumbnail and title, then that'll get somebody to click, right? We all have that emotion. What could that be about, or what happens in that video? And then it's the same with everything else. Make people more curious to stick around. Some people insert like micro hooks throughout their videos, but you definitely want to script your hook and then get into some bullet points for your content and then have your call to action at the end.
Gotcha. And so is there anything like that a business owner needs to know in creating video content?
Yeah, so like my whole kind of philosophy is if a business wants to like getting into the online marketing for their business, or whether they are an online business and they just want to do more online marketing, you got to be able to create videos. You have got to be a video creator because that's what 90% of the internet is videos, people consuming videos. And all the best ads are video ads. And you know, you need a video sales letter. You need a video on the page that you're trying to sell your product or services. A video is going to help you sell more. So if you're a business owner, do you know how to create that? That looks professional and good. So my message to these people who have never created videos is first just learn the fundamentals of creating a good video. Do you know lighting? Do you know depth of field? There's depth behind you is kind of a good play. Do you have a headlight? Do you have soft boxes? What camera are you recording on? And it doesn't need to be super fancy or expensive, but you could literally be in a room making sure the windows are hitting you and get natural light. That's the best. You have, you know, maybe a ring light and a soft box or something like that. You could do a lot with that. And then your camera can be your phone. People always say that, but when I coach people and I want to help them get better at YouTube and they're not using a mirrorless or a DSLR camera, I want them to take that step eventually. And so, you know, it's not the first day you do that. It's after you create 100 videos. You got 100 in the bank, prove to yourself, you prove to everyone you can do this. You're creating the content, then you go and you upgrade. Everything else is kind of streamlined. That's what I did. The first camera I had was less than $200 for, you know, this is a long time ago, but, you know, eventually I got a terrible DSLR and, you know, probably 13 years later, now I have a good setup. So anyways, that was long-winded, but there it is.
No, it was, what is a softbox?
Yeah, so it's the kind of lights that have like the big white frame looking at and there's a light. It just really softens how the light looks on you because some ring lights are LED and they're kind of harsh. So some lights can be kind of more hard on you, but the softbox, you know, just brings out your natural colors. And yeah, I'm using two right now, and I got a headlight above me. It's a ring light. And then, you know, I'm lighting up the background, lighting up the little, just whatever you want to call that light. That's my setup. And yeah, so like I told you, I've years and years, and this is my career now. So I take it seriously in that way. But I think everybody eventually, when you're 10 years, you'll be looking like this. But that's a long time.
Yes, yes. I think it's 5 or 10 years to be an expert at something. So many hours.
Yeah, I definitely, for me in my life, it's always been 5-year sprints of different things. And I think in 5 years, you can give anything a really good shot. And yeah, that's been my experience. And that's what happened with my basketball training business. You know, I went 5 years, I kind of got burnt out. I wasn't really getting the major results I wanted. You know, I did grow to 200,000 subscribers and over 20 million views, which is substantial. And I really built a great business around it. And I was a basketball trainer and I was traveling, doing camps and clinics, and it was really fun. And I don't want to discredit all that, but eventually I felt the pain point of my new course coming out. It's 50 videos. I got to edit them. And I was like, and all my friends that were creating content complained about video editing. So I was like, it's just right in front of me. So I wanted to solve that for content creators and people who have businesses and that want to create online video content. You want that organic content. You want to create video ads and VSLs and organic content, short form content. So I created VidChops, and that was over 5 years ago as well. And, you know, I'm probably on year 6 right now. And, yeah, so we edit videos for YouTubers, and that kind of took my attention away from the basketball training stuff in a major way. Plus a lot of other things, like my wife went and got a job as a teacher. She was my camera woman for a long time. So I was like, oh, I got to hire a videographer. It was hard to get gym time. So a lot of things going against me that made me just say, oh, VidChops took off. It did start doing very well. So that was my next kind of step.
Very cool. And what about repurposing? Because I know that I have a client that records all of her group sessions, and she's tasked us to go through and pull the questions that she's asked and her responses. Is that a good strategy?
Yeah, I think it is a good strategy. You know, whether you want to repurpose, that's a group coaching call. That's a great one. Okay. A lot of people repurpose podcasts. You can even repurpose YouTube videos. And we do that for you at VidChops too. We will repurpose into 2 different vertical, right? Those are vertical, a little bit different, short form, normally under 60 seconds, because not all platforms can go over 60 seconds. Sometimes they're limited and you want to post them on a couple places. You don't need to go crazy, but whatever ones you feel like would be the best for you and your audience, with like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels is kind of the default kind of best practice, and YouTube Shorts, of course. And that's a whole strategy in itself. You could easily put together a quick hook, write it on a piece of paper, 3 bullet points, a call to action, normally for engagement, and then shoot a vertical video and post that. And that's, you want to make sure it has captions. Most people watch the short form videos with the sound off, but that's a good strategy too, to bring brand awareness to your brand and get people to click on your profile and stuff like that. So I kind of lost my train of thought what I was going to end it on, but yeah, short form is a great content. Oh, repurposing. Yeah. So repurposing is great. But I also, final thing on that is I do think that creating original short form content is really where you can do the best, is really, putting some thought behind creating a short form original script video with some great editing. That can do well for you. Those algorithms do allow you to all of a sudden get a lot of these short form views, which aren't super valuable, but they are getting you in front of people. So there you go.
Right. And with the short form videos, less than a minute, is it important to always identify yourself?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say that's important. Honestly, I don't know the data, or like I haven't really researched that, but it's all about just getting to the point in these videos. Like especially the short form. Like I don't know what they say on YouTube. I can't remember, but it's like you have 1 second or half a second or 1.5 seconds, something really short to get the attention on the short form. Like your first few frames should not be like a black screen, right? If your first few frames are black screen, you're getting swiped every time. It's not good for the algorithm, right? You need to just be in this video, and getting right into it. So back in the day, it was more acceptable, I think, on all platforms to always say, introduce yourself. My name is and I've done this. This is my credentials, to build the authority. I've heard that a lot, and I used to do it, but I don't think that's as important now as just really making sure people don't just leave. And you have to be interesting.
Yeah, I asked because I had someone tell me that I'm not introducing myself, so people aren't knowing who I am. But my response was, you're not my target audience.
Yeah, no, totally. I don't think you should have to introduce yourself every time, but maybe drizzle it in there if you want to take some of their advice too. But yeah, like I said, it's about keeping the attention and keeping it interesting. That's what it's all about. And people need to start thinking like that. Everyone's just so like, you gotta educate. I gotta educate, but it can't be boring. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, so now with my short form videos, I do the hook right away, and then I do a quick introduction. My name is Vanessa. I'm a business muse at Mariposa Sources, and then I continue with what I want to talk about. So it's really quick.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it would kill anything, but maybe that's something. I'm just glad you're considering it because, yeah, like I said, that's pretty short, and I don't think that would hurt too bad. But yeah, something to maybe test sometime. Or if you do try and all of a sudden the video does better, maybe, and you can look at the analytics on most platforms on watch time percentage viewed. And I would just go off that. But yeah, who knows? Who knows the truth on that? A lot of this stuff you don't really know the truth because like you said, it's different audiences are totally different on how their viewing habits. So but yeah, you got to really get that attention quick on that short form.
Yeah, it's definitely different from Instagram to LinkedIn. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, those audiences on LinkedIn and Twitter too they all have, everyone's everywhere, but everyone doesn't spend all of their time everywhere. And I know some people that just spend all their time on Twitter, and that's not me. But I spend all my time on YouTube. Let's be real. It's like my TV now, and it's bad because I don't watch sports or anything anymore. I feel like I just watch YouTube. It's crazy.
Do you watch sports on YouTube?
Well, on YouTube TV you can, but we do have that. But on YouTube you can't really watch NBA games. You can't watch NFL games. They don't have those contracts, I guess. But on YouTube TV they do. So I mean, I guess they technically do.
Gotcha. And so, when someone's starting out, what should be their first focus? Would it be the YouTube content, the video ads, or the video sales letters?
Let's just get some organic content going. We're talking affordable things. Like I said, you can start with the camera phone. Just make sure that you have good lighting, depth of field behind you, and good audio. Audio is 50% of the experience of viewing. It really is. When you see a video that just has that ultra edited audio, which not everybody can do and stuff, but when it is, it does hit a little bit different. And then so video, audio, fundamentals. And then the number one step is to think about your audience, because the videos you create are not for you, they're for your audience. And sometimes you have to sacrifice maybe a little bit of creativity or what you would want to do to make sure that you're creating a video that's not super niche. It needs to be more broad. You know, the riches are in the niches, but once you're in that niche, you need to think broadly in that niche, because that's what you're going for, right? You're going for putting all this effort into a video so that people watch it. It happens, but it's so niche that once they start spreading it to the broad audience, no one likes it. Lower click-through rate, watch time way down, because it's too technical. Techno babble, I think, is like a term that people use, where it's just like too technical to listen to or to watch. So you want to think of a video topic that your audience would find interesting. And education works too, but you got to kind of, the topic needs to be thought. There needs to be thought behind it. So once you come up with the topic, then you can start writing the hook, the script, and then you're off to the races recording.
Very cool. And so what trends do you see coming up in 2024?
Short form is already a big trend. I mean, that's kind of not a great answer, but definitely short form, but also it's just more highly produced YouTube content. Like some YouTubers now, like, because a lot more people have skills with cameras these days. Cameras are much more affordable, and you could create great videos, and they don't have to be a feature film quality to create a great video. I mean, a lot of feature films are built on really tight budgets. And so that's what these YouTubers are doing now, is they're creating like Netflix documentaries. And the content is incredible. And so that's a huge trend. Also, long form podcasts have already arrived. This might be a great answer for last year, but long form podcasts on YouTube do great. YouTube, it's a big part of YouTube, what they want to do moving forward. They can play a ton of ads throughout a podcast, and people, I think, are watching longer and longer on podcasts now. I know I am personally. Before, I would never watch one. I might put one and listen to it, a video podcast, and maybe glance at it, but catch myself sometimes sitting on the couch watching a video podcast on my big screen in there even, and it's just bizarre. Yeah, I do see that trend continuing to do well.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad that Empowered Entrepreneur has a playlist on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's going to be a huge library someday if you stick with it,
Oh, definitely, definitely. Do you have a final thought for the listeners?
I guess, I come on these things and I talk a lot about online video and being a YouTuber, but it's really just ask yourself, how can you affordably use online video, and strategically, to get ROI for your business? Because what you're trying to do is get views and give people a call to action to go to your website for something free, or to follow you somewhere, maybe, on a different platform, so that they can become a lead. And if they do follow you on Instagram, do you post on Instagram and maybe do stories? Stories will show up in people's on the daily, right? That can really build brand if somebody follows you on your Instagram. And maybe it's not organic content for you, because that's a long-term play. But if you could create 3 great Facebook ads for your business, whatever it is, they convert. Like, I've run Facebook ads for a lot of different businesses now, because and they work great on the offline business. I feel like we spend very low amount for basketball camp that I run every year. Yeah, we get a bunch of signups to that. And of course, we use ads for Facebook, and these are all video ads. I mean, I just shot a video ad the other day. So yeah, I think you can just shoot 3 video ads and test those on like a $10 a day budget, spend $300 in a month, and just see how many leads you build and how many people you close and how many new clients you get. And if you have a good business setup behind that, you could probably make some money. So I'm just trying to think of other ways to use video, but I think those 2 are good ones.
Awesome. And then your company, VidChops, what services do you guys provide?
Yeah, so we are a video editing service, and we mostly edit YouTube content, horizontal YouTube content, but we edit vertical as well. We have like subscription plans that you can sign up to. So you just go through this short little process. We'll add an editor to you within 24 hours, and you can start submitting projects, uploading your raw footage. So you can just record like we're recording now, submit the project in our app, and then in 2 days, we return the edited video back to you. That's kind of our main service. We also, like I said, repurpose it, and we can also do short form, but we also have a YouTube helper service as well, which will create the thumbnail, upload it to YouTube, and it's just more of a done for you service. But that's basically what I've been building out for 5 years, like I said. And yeah, we've worked with a ton of great clients, and it's been fun. And I've met a lot of great people. And yeah, the journey continues. If anybody needs help, you feel free to reach out, vidshops.com.
And that will also be in the show notes along with your social media
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you so much, Augie.
Thank you for having me. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.